Well, victory, that is what matters most. Just 1 point behind the ref favorite team, and if they slip up in Villarreal tomorrow, well, maybe we'll go into Christmas with a smile. We've dodged yet another ultimatum, but the feeling has been awful. I imagine you are with me on this, right? Look, there have been wins where you think, damn, at least there are some signs of hope, little things, Still, this has been pretty pathetic. Pretty pathetic. I mean, the team playing against 10 and just standing around absolutely motionless in the last few minutes. And because, well, anyway, Rodrigo was given a crystal clear penalty that Mbappe scored, and later we'll talk about his record or the one he tied. I think Sevilla played the best game at the Bernabeu that I can remember in a long time. I think even the 2-0 score is a bit exaggerated, although Madrid also had its moments. It had a crossbar from Rodrigo, a crossbar from Mbappe, and they had chances. I mean, Mbappe had 2 or 3 at the start of the second half, so But Sevilla had plenty. Sevilla had several one-on-ones with Courtois, and if it weren't for the Belgian today and many other times, we'd be talking about something else. But anyway, the team, like I said, everyone just standing still at the end. In some stretches of the match, better at times, but only in bursts, inconsistent for most of the match with laughable pressure up front. No intensity, with the lines spread way too far apart. It was easy for Sevilla to cut through the box like a hot knife through butter, way too easy for them to get in. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot to Madrid 12-10, in my opinion. Sevilla didn't deserve to lose. I feel the same way. The thing is, well, it was decided by MMA, Madrid's finishing power. I mean, we don't really have much of that, honestly. But anyway, a great Bellingham with a great strike. For me, it has been one of the most beautiful goals of the season because the shot was fantastic. A really good Rodrigo. By the way, a really good Rodrigo. Given where we're coming from, from the crap we've been seeing from Rodrigo. And with that extra pass on the goal, right? I mean, he gets credited with an assist from a really good pass, a free kick that was exactly the one where the scorer earned it. Maybe should have gotten a red card played. This guy got to play 30 or 40 minutes for free, and then he was making a huge fuss about getting sent off. Man, you've already got a yellow card and you go in low on a play where you don't even touch the ball, and then you go in low again, and on top of that, you kick someone. What do you think you're going to get? Well, another yellow, because there are Sevilla fans complaining about the refereeing, but about what? Damn it. About what? Obviously, Muizriz, who is really bad, called 2 more penalties because with Rodrigo at the end, he had called a penalty where you can clearly see the Sevilla player touch the ball. And then in Rodrigo's case, at the end of the match with that shot, it was a foul outside the box. And Mamba shot, he was desperate to get the goal that would put him ahead of Cristiano. Was clearly from outside the box. But anyway, Virginia R stepped in and corrected it. So what exactly are Sevilla fans complaining about? What the hell are they even complaining about? About what? A guy got sent off late when they should have sent him off earlier. And I just saw something weird. Correct me if I am wrong. Maybe, I don't know, some anti-Madridista here, and there are a few, correct me if I am wrong, but I only saw 1 yellow card given to a Sevilla player, a foul on Vinicius that maybe wasn't because they got the ball first, even though they then knocked Vinicius over. Maybe 1 for protesting. That is all I said. Look, here he went too far. But man, that is it. I mean, absolutely nothing else. What is he even complaining about? Then Soria and all that bunch will come out saying, but what are they even complaining about, man? I mean, these are the games where they say Madrid gets the advantage. Damn, man. If that is the bar, oh man, give me a break. Now we're talking about, thanks, Carlos. Now we're talking about Hausen, about Fran. And well, Asensio, the thing is, Asensio is not a right back, man. Asensio is not a right back. In fact, Asensio has had many times when he was out of position. There was one play toward the end of the match where he was in the middle of the field and then had to drop back and go back to, well, his zone, right? The right back spot where a player was pushing up from. They got through that side several times, just one Sevilla player. The thing is, Asensio's got a lot of attitude. He plays with a lot of intensity and he covers well. What Asensio does best is cover. He covers well. But of course, if he is out of position and if he is not in his spot, or rather, in that order, if he is not in his position and therefore not well placed, because there are a lot of center backs who get lost when they play as fullbacks. I was listening to Cope earlier. They were talking with Sanchez, Manolo Sanchez, who said that one day Tosha put him at right back and he said he felt like he was drowning playing fullback at right back or left back, and he preferred to play. Well, if you took him out of the center of defense, he'd get lost, And then you had fullbacks like Sergio Ramos back in the day who didn't have that problem. And Asensio does have that problem. Wait, I didn't mean to put your message. I wanted to put the one from the super chat here. Like always, Alex, the manager. Thanks a lot, Alex. Bland and lifeless. Real Madrid played without energy and got beaten by a solid Sevilla that could have tied it. Seriously, man. But who posted this? Wait, let's see. Look, I am going to put it up just to mess with. Andres Aran says, Miguel, anyone who can't see that piece of trash Mbappe is the one who ruined the whole team is a complete idiot. Well, whatever. This just cracks me up, guys. That Mbappe is a player who kind of shapes the way the team plays. No doubt about it. Now, a guy who just scored 59 goals, matching none other than Cristiano Ronaldo at Real Madrid. A guy who, yeah, I get it. And surely Xabi Alonso wants him to press more, whatever you want. But a guy who scores 59 goals in a calendar year, how is it possible that some of you say he doesn't deserve it? I mean, that this guy came here to screw everything up. He didn't come here to screw everything up. And yeah, obviously, it just so happened that when we were doing really well, we won La Liga and the Champions League. I don't know. He showed up and things changed. But it wasn't because of him, damn it. I mean, one player doesn't blow up a team. So you're saying it is Mappa's fault that the rest are just standing around today? It is Mappa's fault. Damn, well, thank God Mappa is here, because if not, the other day in Talavera, we wouldn't have made it through. And today, well, the first goal was by Bellingham, but in a lot of games, he's been the top scorer with a massive gap compared to the second he gets on the team. What are we even talking about here? Thanks, Peluca. Rodrigo, when he is moving well, is really effective. Rodrigo, when he is in a good headspace, because that is what he blamed it on, right? About the topic. I mean, that is what was said, right? Rodrigo, when he is in good form, he's a really valuable player, and absolutely, I mean, we've made great use of him at Madrid. I still stand by it being the player, says Carlos Slave Gunsles. Thanks a lot, Carlos, by the way, from Chile, right? How is Ty doing? Well, I feel the same as you. I mean, I think the same as you. By the way, Alexis, the Chilean, damn, Alexis, look, it is Alexis from 10 years ago, and today he puts 3 pastas. Man, if he puts 3 pastas today, it is the Alexis from 10 years ago. Oh my God. Someone was telling me here, wait, Miguel, sorry for insisting. By the way, there are 1,243 of us, a million. Thanks, huh? Sure, but we already know the play is bad, really bad. So why not just focus and enjoy why not focus and enjoy the win instead of dwelling on the problems we already know we have? Well, because we're Madrid, man. Otherwise, we'd be Atleti. I mean, if we weren't self-critical, we'd be Atleti. And because we just can't be happy, damn, we just can't be happy. Come on, I am not. That is why I called it a pathetic win, because to me it felt like a pathetic win, man. I mean, you guys know that on this channel I can't. No, it is. I can't. I mean, no, I can't say things I don't feel, and I think a lot of people follow me for that. Thankfully, here you get brutal honesty. Like Calamaro would say, he even made an album by that name, a really good one, by the way, and I just can't say anything else. To me, it was a pathetic win for Madrid today, and Madrid's current level of play is just pathetic. But I am with my Chilean friend. I am with him on it being the players, man. It is the players. I mean, Xabi Alonso is yelling his lungs out on the sideline to get them to run. So they stick together so that when Xavi do you guys notice that Xavi on the sideline is constantly doing this, like this all the time? Get together, you sons of bitches, get together. Man, I mean, seriously, dude. I mean, and besides, that is without the ball and with the ball, a total lack of ideas up front. Anyway, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Oh, wait, you had a comment, but thanks anyway. Antonio. I couldn't read your note there, Antonio Carrasco. Thank you very much, Antonio. Man, from Mexico, right? I am in with the players, guys. I am in with the players. Because you see, for example, look, we're not going to name the paid refs. The thing is, they're our benchmark. Our benchmark, because we're going to be fighting for the league with them, right? In Spain. But you see how they attack, how they overlap, how they work, the 2-on-1 play out wide. Always there is movement. They're always on the move. There is always the guy with the ball has people moving around him. The guy who's got the ball and plays it moves. But today you see Madrid just standing there, man, totally still. Super predictable, man. Mbappe drops back to get the ball and tries to do his thing and all that. But since he's really good, well, then yeah, he makes things happen. Of course, he makes things happen. What you've got to do is make the most of all that. Take advantage of the fact that you've got a guy there who is just a beast. And I know that Luis Enrique once said, "Now I am going to control everything." Yeah. But that Paris Saint-Germain with Mappa under Luis Enrique got stuck in the semis inexplicably against Dortmund, and we would have played the final against them. And it was a team that steamrolled Barra, was on track to win that Champions League too. And they won their league, and they won the cup, and they won pretty much everything, because over there they always won everything. But it wasn't really any worse than last year's Paris Saint-Germain, not by a long shot, you know? Some people will say, yeah, but they won the Sextuple with them. They won the Champions League with them. Yeah. But if in that match against Dortmund, where they had chances for days, they end up winning, maybe in the final they'd be facing us, you know? But why? Because Luis Enrique knew that maybe Mbappe couldn't be controlled that much. But damn, he had a guy there who, hell, is just pure gold. What you got to do is surround him well. Wait. The look. I've said this a bunch of times, Leo. Oh, I am not sure if I replied to you the other day. I don't know. Miguel, you're going to talk about the mess Xavi's got with the team like you did with Ancelotti, but you haven't seen the title I put up, Pathetic Win. And you haven't seen that I've been taking shots at the team. You haven't seen or heard me all week. Maybe you don't follow the channel much. And hey, I don't blame you for that. But I've been talking nonstop about the flaws, the things Xavi Alonso's been doing wrong. Not being himself, making incoherent decisions like the other day when in some match he takes Gonzalo out and then they start sending crosses into the box. You know, these are things Savic is doing that just aren't him. He doesn't have that drive, that spark we saw at the Club World Cup. Of course, I am blaming the coach for a lot of things. But here there's a very clear difference compared to Ancelotti. Xavi just got started. Ancelotti was in the fourth year of his second stint. Damn, and the players no longer believed in him and there was obvious burnout. That is why I said, as much as I care about Carleto, as much as I care about him, this man has to leave Madrid, and that is it. Because I couldn't see another year of the same thing, because you could already tell the players just weren't listening to him. In Xavi's case, it is different. Damn it, you sign a coach for 3 years, have him for 6 months. He gives you a good result at the start at the Club World Cup. Fair enough, because he took it on the way he did. And then at the start of the season, now you are going to sack him when in every single game you can see it is the players who don't give a damn. Well, man, I think the situations with Ancelotti were different. And look, last year I also blamed the players, but at the same time I said, it is just that Ancelotti isn't able to motivate them. They just don't listen to him because maybe his message is worn out. I doubt if his message is worn out. It is another thing. If they just don't believe in him for whatever reason, but firing him is basically siding with the players. In Ancelotti's case, it wasn't about siding with the players because it was the fourth year of a guy who was in his second stint. But firing Xavi now would be siding with the players. I mean, don't blame the players. By the way, I really missed a lot. A big round of boost from the Bernabeu. Thing is, well, Mbappé scored, so if we finish 1-0, they're gonna get booed. Now, not like that booing back in the day. The Madrid with Cristiano Cruz, Modric, and the rest against Choque 04. Remember, knockout tie that Madrid got through, but they lost 4-3 at home, and the Bernabeu sent them off with booze. And I remember we were moving on to the Champions League quarterfinals. And it was a disgrace that booing should have happened today. But nope, we won. So now on Real Madrid television, the players will talk and everyone will be all happy and whatever, despite the crap game they played, because they played a crap game. Man, the first few minutes, I mean, the start was dreadful, absolutely dreadful. Thanks a lot. Wait. I'm going to take off the wait a second. Man, there are just so many messages and I really appreciate it. But as they keep scrolling by, trying to pick the one I want to read, I just don't have time. Endrick and the Academy guys played more under Ancelotti. And he laughs. Well, thanks a lot for the donation. You know what? Yeah, honestly, yeah, it is amazing. It is amazing. But yeah, by the way, Endrick isn't going to play for Real Madrid again. Not until at least September or August or July during the 2026 preseason, right? He is not coming back. Of course, he was suspended for this game because of the red card he got the other day, even though he was on the bench. And then come January, that match against Betis away on the 4th of January, watch out for that game. He won't be there because in theory he'll be in Lyon, since Madrid also wants that loan of Endrick to Lyon to play at least 25 games, from what I understand, because if not, Lyon has to pay, right? And of course, that would be all the matches in the second half of the season and maybe a few more, maybe around 20 games he'd have to play in Lyon. And then there'd be the French Cup and all those other competitions, plus the European competition, which I am not sure if Lyon is in, right? Yeah, in the European competition, Vini on the bench, are on the left, and Prey says Madrid 12-10. You know what? Thing is, there is something going on here that maybe Xavi thinks the same as I do. And it is that Vini deserves to be benched for sure. And Rodrigo maybe deserves to be out there because he's earned it lately with some good play. But if tomorrow were the Champions League final, I'd put Vini in, not Rodrigo. Why? Because Vini can win you more games. He is more of a finisher and more decisive than Rodrigo. He always has been, always, even considering that when it comes to link-up play and, you know, a bit of style when you watch him and a touch of magic. With the ball at his feet, Rodrigo's got more, you see. But Vini is more decisive in what he does best. When it comes to what he does best, if he's at his peak, he's the best in the world. But he's not. All three have to play, says one. Man, I just saw you there in the Telegram group. One, thanks for being here too. Well, yeah, look, all three of them play today. Yeah. So basically, guys, we're back to the trio, huh? We're back to the trio, man. Miguel, like Carlos says, this squad has slackers and others with low IQ, and any team from the top division plays better. It is true that the squad's IQ is low, and we're missing leaders. We've been saying it for a while now. We're definitely missing players here. I think Carvajal should be one of them, but he is injured. All right, Diger should be one of them, but he is crazy and doesn't speak Spanish. And well, there are a bunch of things that happen, and maybe we think Bellingham could be a great leader because the guy, when it comes to contributing as a leader and as a guy with charisma and all that, he is fantastic. But maybe inside the locker room, he is not one of those who has raised his voice, you know? And well, Mbappe kind of does his own thing, focuses on his goals and all that. And well, you know, today the captain was Vinicius. You know, it is just, I mean, the locker room is what it is. The locker room is what it is. Wait, Antoine Odaragez is telling me here. Miguel say that Rodrigo was the best player in the match. If he were French, giving him a 10 wouldn't be hard for you. Come on, but I said that right at the start, Antoine. I said it right at the start. I said it right at the start that Rodrigo was the best. Were you not listening or what? But besides that, you can tell me, Miguel, say Rodrigo, okay, fine. But that comment about if he were, I mean, that comment was unnecessary. That comment was unnecessary. I mean, come on, I just said something negative about Mbappe, that he is all about himself and stuff because he is all about his goals and all that. I don't know. A lot of people sometimes try to corner me with this kind of thing. Like the one who asked me earlier about Ancelotti. I explain everything. There is no problem. It is just that in the comments too. Well, in that one, for example, there was a bit of bad blood, huh? All right, Miguel, greetings to you and to everyone here in the chat. Sending respectful and warm greetings to the Madrid fan club and Casablanca in Tegucigalpa, Honduras. All right, all right, all right. There. Well, a shout out to everyone over there in Honduras. You are calling me Curto. It is not because I am talking about the current Real Madrid, right? No, no, because I wanted to give credit. Well, I mean, what Curto did today was incredible. I said it at the start, you know. I mean, those 3 one-on-ones that he stopped, just insane. 3 or 4, I don't even know how many. And well, it wasn't just one-on-ones because there was a shot from Alexis that was, I am laughing at a comment I am not going to read. Look, I am actually watching it right now here on another monitor. Curto's save against Alexis was just insane. A really, really good strike from the Chilean. From outside the box, and the rest were one-on-ones. The Belgian was absolutely fantastic. All right, let's see if we can hear from Xabi Alonso, see if the guy has something to say. If you imagine him walking into the press room and going off on everything. Well, that is not going to happen because he never does. Anyway, it is going to be really interesting to hear him say a few things. Like I said, the whole thing about the ref and what the Sevilla fans and the anti-Madrid crowd are complaining about just doesn't make any sense. Ruiz, because he's terrible, missed two penalties that we Madrid fans were saying, please, sir, correct it. Good thing VAR was there. How bad must it have been for Iglesia Villanueva to tell him, hey, where are you going? Where are you going? Remember, this pair is the same pair from the Espanyol Stadium last year, you know, with that referee massacre back in February. With that tackle on Mapapi by that Romero guy who ended up scoring the only goal of the match. And that is where it started. That is where it all began. It was those two. And, well, players Hausen. Hausen's been swapped out on us. I mean, at some point they must have switched Hausen with his twin brother. I have no idea what happened there. But with Hausen, it is just pathetic the speed, or rather the lack of speed he has had lately, the number of mistakes he's making with the ball. And another thing, since he looked slow and was afraid of losing races, he kept breaking the offside line. It happened to him like 2 or 3 times, you know, in those plays from Sevilla coming in down the left. But he says, come on, it could be down the left, through the middle, or wherever. We really highlighted Courtois' performance, also Rodrigo's, and well, the rest, look, Bellingham today, the goal, fine, but yeah, definitely better than in other games. The Englishman was much better apart from the goal, much better. I don't know who they gave the MVP of the match to. I think it should be Rodrigo anyway. Frank Garca does what he can, guys, and Rydiger didn't look bad to me either. Who else? Well, we've already talked about Vinicius, who hasn't had his best game again. Goller did fine, but nothing flashy. Guller, I am not going to say he is stuck, but maybe sometimes we ask more of him than he can give. It could be that. I mean, maybe Guller would be a great compliment in the midfield, but he's not the player who should be running the show. Maybe he is the kind of player who should be setting things up, delivering that final pass, taking free kicks, being an important presence in midfield, but not the one steering the team. I think we're coming to that conclusion. I don't know. Tell me if I am wrong. Someone here is asking how long we're going to keep defending Vinicius. You are not talking about me, right? Because well, when Vinicius is doing well, I say so, and when he is doing badly, I say that too. Someone's spamming here. Hold on, because someone's telling me, someone's posting stuff here that, I mean, things that have nothing to do with it. I don't know. No, I haven't seen it. If I see it, I'll take care of it right here. Sure, it is just that we're in that kind of doubt. For me, he is a player for Madrid, you know. For me, Guller is definitely a player for Madrid, but this year he's going to put a lot of people to the test, you know. They say that at the Christmas dinner, the president told the players, hey, it is time to step up, especially because if we fire Xavi, the new guy who comes in when they mess up again, because Arbeloa may be a good coach, but he's not going to walk into this mess in the locker room and change it overnight. I mean, that is why I think maybe they haven't replaced Xavi yet, because they don't want to burn Arbeloa in the Super Cup. Let's listen to Courtois. What would you highlight about these 3 points Real Madrid picked up today? Well, in the end, the important thing was to win at home. Well, in the end, I think we need to improve our football. I think we scored from a set piece and a penalty, and in the end, I think we need to get better. We know that. But in moments like this, it is important to win. We did it against Alaves. We did it in the Cup and today. And well, in the end, we have to improve. Maybe the week off will be good for all of us to rest and get better. Obviously, it is not easy. We're fighting. There are a lot of injuries and so on. And in the end, that is why the win is so important. You're looking better than ever. Thibaut, great saves and a clean sheet today. Yeah, I am feeling really good. I've been working hard every week, every day with IPs, with the other goalkeepers. And in the end, I try to help the team. I think that with the 1-0 score, I had to make several saves, and well, that is my job, and I always try to do the best I can. Today, Mbappe's goal was his 59th of the year. In 2025, he matched Cristiano Ronaldo's historic Real Madrid record of 59 goals set in 2013. You see him day in and day out, and you know perfectly well how hard it is, how much credit does Mbappe's record deserve. No, it is a huge achievement. I think he could have scored a few more today, but it wasn't to be. He's a guy with a lot of drive, obviously leading the attack alongside Vini, Rodrigo, and the rest. Scoring 59 goals is not easy, and I think he has incredible quality and talent. Honestly, stopping him in training is tough, but I try, and sometimes we get competitive. But anyway, I think training with the best in the world always makes you better as a goalkeeper too. We wrap up 2025, the last game of the year. What message do we send to Madrid fans, and what do you wish for in 2026? First of all, happy holidays to all Madrid fans. I hope they have a great end of the year, a wonderful Christmas, and above all, good health. And for us, that we stay healthy, and that 2026 comes with trophies. For that, we need to raise our level a bit, and the good times will come. Here is to more games, more wins, and for you, more matches wearing the armband, which I am guessing is pretty special too, man. No, it was my first time here at the Bernabeu, always beautiful. For me, it is a huge honor to be one of the captains of Real Madrid, especially here at the Bernabeu. It is obviously a childhood dream to play here, and being one of the captains is a great source of pride, especially coming from a small town in Belgium. I think getting here shows that you have to dream big because it can take you very far. That is why every match I play wearing this jersey is a real honor. You are amazing, Thibaut. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas and Hala Madrid. Let's not let this get out. Damn, I almost messed up. That'll be the shot of the match. We're done here. I was going to say, give me just a sec. I need to fix this. Okay. Thibaut Courtois said, by the way, that earlier I messed up. It is true. I said Vinicius was captain today. No, it was Courtois, but it could have easily been Vinicius. They both arrived the same summer, right? Summer of 2018, right? So, well, he mentioned Thibaut Courtois twice. We need to improve. Today, the important thing was to win, absolutely. But we need to improve. We need to improve our football. Miguel, tell us more about how the Christmas lunch with your friends went. Probably way more fun than the game.
Yeah.
Definitely. By the way, I made a video, guys, so when you can show it some love, it is one of those videos that gets a bit lost among the statements from Negreira's son to the judge. He made them a while ago, but since Ramfin Alvarez, the Monday, posted them today, I thought I had to make a video. I was at Christmas lunch with my friends and took a moment in the parking lot where my car was to make it. I uploaded it about an hour before the game, and it is one of those videos that gets lost because it is between games and all. And if you can show it some love, it has been up for a while now. Once the stream ends, I'd appreciate it. Vinicius started as captain, and when he was subbed off, yeah, that is right. Sorry, man, I must have been really spaced out then. That is why I said it seemed familiar, like I'd seen Vinicius with the armband, and now since they told Courtois that, I'm like, damn, maybe I was wrong. And
I doubted myself, right? Parking lot videos, it is a classic. I've done quite a few of those. Big thanks to Pikachu for asking for likes. Thanks a lot, man. And anyway, Xabi Alonso will be speaking shortly. We're going to listen to him and we'll be here, by the way. Later, we've got Big Up. Look, I'm going to tell you something. Like I promised the other day, if I did it, we're just 1 point behind the ref payers. Tomorrow, they're playing the Miami game in Villarural, and we're going to do it on Viga, along with the live stream on Viga. That carries over from the one coming up next. But tomorrow on Viga, we're going to do what is called a watch along, which is basically reacting live to a game. I'll post a link in one of the later videos, so you can join tomorrow starting at 4:15 Spain time. join me there on Biga and you can chat. We can all react together to the game. And if the ref pairs lose or don't even tie, that'd be awesome. We'd be just 1 or 2 points away before the year ends. And with the month and a bit we've had, that is not bad at all. And that is even after we dropped 9 points compared to them.
Hoy el gol de Mbappé es el número 59 en este año. En el año 2025 iguala la marca de Cristiano Ronaldo, récord histórico en el Real Madrid, 59 goles en el 2013. Tú que lo ves día a día y tú que sabes perfectamente lo difícil que es, ¿cuánto mérito tiene este récord de Mbappé?
No, tiene mucho mérito. Yo creo que al final hoy puede haber metido alguno más, pero bueno, no pudo ser. Pero no, es un chico que con muchas ganas, que te está liderando el ataque junto a Vini, a Rodrigo y todos los demás. Y bueno, meter 59 goles no es fácil y creo que él tiene mucha calidad, mucho talento y la verdad que frenarle en los entrenos es difícil. Pero bueno, yo lo intento y a veces nos picamos, pero bueno, yo creo que entrenar con los mejores del mundo siempre va a ser mejor como portero también.
Despedimos el 2025, último partido del año. ¿Qué mensaje le mandamos al madridismo y también qué le pides tú a 2026?
Nada, yo creo que ante todo felices fiestas a los madridistas, que tengan una buena salida de año, de Navidad y que sobre todo salud. Y luego para nosotros pues que tengamos mucha salud y que venga el 2026 con trofeos y para eso tenemos que mejorar un poco su nivel y vendrán los alegrías.
Por más partidos, más victorias y también para ti más partidos por el brazalete. Supongo que también es especial, tío.
No, era la primera vez aquí en el Bernabéu, siempre bonito. Es para mí un honor muy grande ser uno de los capitanes del Real Madrid y más en el Bernabéu y es realmente un sueño de niño era jugar aquí y bueno, ser uno de los capitanes para mí es un orgullo muy grande, sobre todo siendo de un pueblo pequeño en Bélgica. Yo creo que llegar aquí pues nada, yo creo que al final demuestra que hay que soñar en grande porque te puede llevar muy lejos y nada, por eso para mí cada partido que puedo jugar con esta camiseta es un orgullo.
El grande Tibu, feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad a la Madrid.
Bueno, pues... que no salga esto. Joder, casi la cago. La imagen de partido, estamos aquí finiquitados. Os iba a decir también un segundito que tengo que solucionar esto. Ha dicho Thibaut Courtois, por cierto, es que antes me equivoqué. Es verdad que Vinicius, dije que Vinicius hoy era capitán, no, era Courtois, pero podría haber sido Vinicius perfectamente. Llegaron el mismo verano, ¿no? En el verano del 18, ¿no? Así que, bueno. Bueno, ha dicho 2 veces Thibaut Courtois, tenemos que mejorar. Hoy lo importante era ganar totalmente, pero tenemos que mejorar. Tenemos que mejorar nuestro fútbol. Miguel, cuéntanos mejor cómo estuvo la comida de Navidad con tus amigos. Seguro que más divertida que el partido, sí, desde luego. Por cierto, hice un vídeo, chicos, en cuanto podáis darle ahí cariño, pues son de esos vídeos que se pierden un poco con las declaraciones del hijo de Negreira, a la jueza, bueno, ya las hizo hace tiempo, pero como las ha publicado Ramón Álvarez de Mon hoy, creo que había que hacer un vídeo, estaba yo en la comida con mis colegas y nada, sacó un ratito ahí para en el parking donde tenía el coche hacer un vídeo. Ha subido pues como 1 hora antes del partido y son de esos vídeos que se pierden un poco porque son entre partidos y tal, y si le podéis dar cariño está subido, desde hace un rato, si ahora cuando termine el directo les dais cariño os lo agradezco. Empezó siendo capitán Vinicius cuando le cambió, es verdad, sí, perdona, joder, macho, no, sí que estaba yo despistado, entonces, vale, por eso me sonaba que había visto a Vinicius con el brazalete, digo, y ahora como le han dicho eso a Courtois, digo, hostia, pues igual me he equivocado yo y he desconfiado de mí mismo. Correcto, vídeos desde el parking, es un clásico los vídeos desde el parking, ya he hecho ahí unos cuantos. Muchas gracias a Picachón pidiendo los likes, muchas gracias, tío, y nada, bueno, tiene que hablar Xabi Alonso en breve, vamos a escucharle y vamos a estar aquí. Por cierto, luego tenemos liga. Mira, os voy a decir algo como, y lo prometí el otro día si lo hacía. Estamos a un punto de los pagaárbitros. Mañana juegan el partido de Miami en Villarreal y vamos a hacer en Viga, aparte del directo en Viga, arrastrando el que viene ahora a continuación. Pero mañana en Liga vamos a hacer un watch-along, que se llama, que es una reacción a un partido, reacciones en directo, y os dejaré dejaré el link para que entréis mañana a partir de las 4:15 horario de España, conmigo ahí en Viga, y podéis escribir, podemos reaccionar todos juntos al partido y tal. Y yo, si pierden o empatan los pagárbitros, pues mira, maravilloso, nos quedaríamos a 1 o 2 puntos antes de que termine el año, y con el mesecito y pico que llevamos no está nada mal, y eso que perdimos 9 puntos con respecto a ellos. Some guy named Josie Gymnez here says, man, he is intense. What a bunch of lovable people. A robbery, every game pathetic. Seriously. Anyone who thinks that what happened today, and I've already explained this, was a robbery against Sevilla, or that Madrid has stolen this season. Seriously, you are not living on Mars, you are living on Jupiter, man. It is unbelievable. But anyway, two things, Miguel. Xavi has made everyone worse, and there's no direction on the field or reaction from the bench. And the other is that idiot Soria. We should send him to kiss the baton's tip. Soria must have said some nonsense, right? Hey, big shout out from Venezuela. We didn't have power here in my city, so I only caught the second half of the game. Damn, I am really sorry, F-Play, really sorry, man, which is cool. And you're often there in Big Up too. Well, I appreciate that. Under those circumstances, man, you can still have the will to be here with us. Thanks a lot. Shout out to Cuban Real Madrid fan who is in Louisville, Kentucky. Yeah, and being in second place playing like that really says a lot about the level of the league these days, for sure. I am with you, Josie. Josie, I am with you, man. But anyway, it is what it is. In the Premier, we'd be 9th or 10th right now, or who knows if we'd even be in the top 10, right? I think it is about there. Yeah, man, the level is just insane. You mean the ref payers? Or who was it? Yeah, I meant them. I thought so. But let's see. No. He's not saying it about them. Because now he answers me and says, "Not on Mars, my friend. That second yellow card forgiven for Rodrigo people aren't stupid." Let's see. That play isn't a yellow card for Rodrigo. Besides, that whole thing about the penalty on Rodrigo, the yellow card for that penalty on Rodrigo, is also really questionable, because Rodrigo marked, which for me is not a penalty. It is not a penalty for what Marcado did, but he did catch him with his arm. Rodrigo exaggerates the fall. But damn, I think yellow cards for players who exaggerate, who fake penalties, are for when they don't even get touched. Hey, with Marcado, I think it was him, right? Marcado too, in the play for the penalty Rodrigo was asking for, which definitely wasn't. Well, yeah, he did hit him with his arm. So let's see. These are situations. Look, when you've just given a yellow card to a guy you think exaggerated a penalty in a play like that with Marcado, no matter how much pain or damage it caused him, I am sure Marcado was also trying to take advantage of the situation. He knew Rodrigo already had a yellow and thought, I am going to stay down here on the ground for a bit and see if he gets the second. Most referees take that into account. Damn it, they do. I mean, they understand that the first yellow was for exaggerating a penalty and the second for just a little tap. How are you going to send the guy off for that? Now, Marcado thing is he'd been playing scot-free for like 30 or 40 minutes, because his first one, the way he went in, that is a red. He brushed the ball, but the way he went in, that is an orange red. Damn, the second one goes to the ground. Never even gets to the ball, man. That is a yellow. Look, let's see. You show the two plays from each of the two players to a third party, to someone who is on Mars. You show them and say, look, Rodrigo here deserves a red card. He says, no. But Marcado deserves a red for these two. He says, yes. Let's listen to Xavi, who is live right now. Hold on. There he is. Television. Hi, Xavi Abraham Romero from El Mundo. Congratulations on the win. Now that the year's over and the holidays are here, how at ease do you feel with the team's level beyond the points based on today's performance? Good evening. Yeah, now we're going to have some time to really analyze, to reflect on where we stand. The truth is that today,
it was a game. We had to win.
We came in, in a tough spot with the players we were missing, and the goal was to try and get those 3 points. It is clear that we know we can do better, we want to do better, and we obviously have that self-criticism.
And now, we've done it. Got the 3 points. We'll use the time to try and start the year off better. Good evening, Coach. This is Joshi Luis Sanchez for Fantambare LS Sexta. I wanted to ask you about the boost Vinicius got when you took him off. What do you think about it, and what do you believe was the reason it happened? Well, the fans, of course, they're sovereign and free to express their opinion. Today was a game, like I said before, that was tough because of how we came into it. And obviously there are things we can improve on. And we understand that. But I also value the moment the team is in, what they're doing in every game. And with so many players out, they've had to repeat a lot. Now we're going to use the time to get some rest and start the year strong. Hello, good evening, coach. I am Manten Mana, live on Cadena Ser Sports Show. If you had to sum it up in just a few words, how would you say your team played? Well, you guys are the journalists, the ones who write the headlines. I am not here to come up with definitions. But like I said earlier to your colleague,
we know the moment we're in, where we are, and we have the demands and the self-criticism to be able to play better. We're aware of that this isn't our level, and we want to improve it.
how is it going, Xavi? Melko Ruiz from the COP Network. I don't know how you could explain today, from a football point of view, what happened out on the field, because I think the best thing was the result. Yesterday, you said we had to win duels, that you knew exactly what kind of game to expect against Sevilla. We didn't see any of that. We saw that you gave up a lot of chances, and really easily too. How can you explain that to the fans?
I think yesterday you were asking me what was the priority, and we said the priority was to win the game, then how we wanted to do it. Obviously, there are things that didn't turn out the way we expected, and others that came a bit closer. But we've got the 3 points we've won now, thinking about where we were a week ago.
We won in Vitoria, we won today, and the situation allows us to start looking ahead to 2026 in a position in the standings that is close enough to fight for everything. Now we need to back it up with the improvements we want to make, obviously. Hi, Xavi. Miguel, Toribia Leaf for Radio Marca. They asked him about the boos aimed at Vinicius, and he said he respects the fans. I wanted to ask how those boos made him feel personally. Well, in the end, I was just greeting everyone. We said our goodbyes, and we didn't talk about it. How is it going? Xavi, good evening. Fernando Burgos, live for Radio Estadio on Onda Cero. I am going to give you a headline.
Real Madrid keeps winning, but Xabi Alonso keeps losing. Do you think that headline is unfair, exaggerated, out of line, not objective at all? I am not here to judge your headlines.
All right, there, you nailed it. How is it going, Xavi? Martin from Okidario.
You've talked about the team's play. You've made it clear it can be improved. Have you figured out what the problem is with this team and what needs to be improved? In several areas, when we don't have the ball, and when we do have it, give the game a different pace, a different intent, be able to combine control with more vertical play.
But I am telling you, today we came in after all these weeks with all the players we've got out, and the guys are making a huge effort, and a lot of them were at their limit, others who couldn't even make it.
Because, like Fed, Eduardo was also running on empty, and Radel was really running on empty too. So I am not taking today's level as a reference, because I know that in the future, when we get our energy back and our players back, we'll be able to spread things out more and improve. Hi, how is it going? Xavi Drama Sanchez from Radio Nacional, live for Tebello Deportivo. Yesterday you said you had determination, strength, that you were feeling good and motivated. But today we saw you spending more time on the bench, giving fewer instructions. You explained what the team is missing and what more you want to see out on the field. Do you feel you have the same drive and energy as at the start so the team can play the way you want? Thanks.
Same thing I told you yesterday. From one day to the next, my mood, my spirits don't change at all. I understand the game. I analyze the game. I am critical too in a constructive way, but I put today's game in context, considering where we were coming from and where we're headed, what is coming our way starting in January. Hi, Xavi over here, Olivier Lorenzo from El Paqués.
Beyond today's game, if you think about your team 2 months or 2.5 months ago, what do you think is behind this slump, if we want to call it that, in your team's play? Thanks. Well, I've said it before. We've got a lot of factors piling up. How many players were we missing today? I am not sure if it was 9 or 10. I don't know. Around 9 counting the suspensions.
Players who couldn't make it, others who are playing pretty much every game, and that is just inevitable. It is happening to us, and it is happening to other clubs in Europe that face that same level of demand.
And in the end, you have to live with it. You have to, of course, like I'm saying, be critical, but I put it in the context of the moment we're in. Here is Mr. Carlos from the newspaper. On the flip side of this situation, looking at the positives, there is Mbappe, right? Today he was with a special kind of drive, he said it himself, with a special desire to break or at least match Cristiano's record. I don't know about you, but having those kinds of examples is one of the best pieces of news we could have for 2026, right? That he sets his own challenges to push the team forward.
Man, players with that kind of personal ambition, with that drive to always want to be on the field, every game to always want to make an impact. Well, that is really good for the team and for their teammates. And Kylian, well, today he has matched a historic record like Cristiano's. I congratulate him for that and encourage him to start 2026 off well. Hi, Xavier. This is Sergio from El Desmarque. We're wrapping up 2025, and I'd like to ask what you are hoping for in 2026, both in sports and personally. Thanks.
I'd like to be able to start getting people back. I think we'll be able to get people back and have more players available, so we won't have to push ourselves right to the limit. I am not really one to ask for things. I am ready for whatever comes. Let's take the last question. Here is Sergio Corante from DAZN.
From what you are saying, it seems to be a physical issue, keeping the team from performing at 100% as you see it. Have you figured out why there are so many injuries? And have you diagnosed the problem causing so many absences?
Well, there are a lot of factors. It is not just one thing. Obviously, with other players injured, some have to play more minutes, and that puts them at greater risk of getting hurt. That has happened to us, not just this past week, but recently with Militio, for example, and that really hurts you right now. Well,
both Trent and Carver are injured, and Fed couldn't play today either. So you've got to get creative. Players have to adapt to positions they're not so used to, and they're making a huge effort. I really appreciate that. And now, well, let's see if we can improve and get some people back.
Well, thank you very much. Good night. Happy holidays to everyone. Okay, take it easy. Take it easy. Some might say, no, you take it easy. You take it easy, Xavi. Oh, man, damn, dude. What a press conference. You know, it was good when he said he'd apparently changed his profile picture on Instagram. Who I totally missed that. Can you explain? Madrid 1210 to me, who changed the profile picture. I don't know. Hit like, you bastards. That is what Fernando says here. Wait, I like that. Take it easy bit. Yeah, me too. If I put the good one, hit like, you bastards. And thanks a lot to Fernando Arias. To Vini. Okay. Thanks a lot, guys. Wow.
He mentioned the injuries 1, 2, 3, 4 times at the press conference, huh?
Ha dicho lo de las bajas 1, 2, 3, 4 veces en rueda de prensa, ¿eh? Lo de las bajas, recuperar gente. Tu máximo deseo para 2023 es recuperar gente. Tranquilo, Miguel Serrano, sí. Claro, vamos a ver. Este hombre estaba loco, porque llegase hoy por la noche sin que le echase. O sea, habiendo ganado esto y diciendo, bueno, ha empezado diciendo eso, ha dicho, bueno, hoy era importante ganar, tenemos que mejorar, y desplome en el juego. Ha puesto lo de las bajas por delante y ha dicho, soy crítico, pero le pongo contexto. Contexto por el tema de la ausencia de futbolistas por lesión o por sanción. Que no he hablado con Vinicius sobre el tema de los pitos. Me despisté un poquito en la primera respuesta cuando le preguntó José Luis Sánchez sobre los pitos a Vini, porque me he quedado con la segunda, se estaba colocando aquí lo del directo de Viga y me fui un poquito ahí, no sé lo que contestó Xavi. Pero en la segunda dice, no, pues yo le he visto a Vini, nos hemos despedido y no he hablado con él de eso. Xavi va a huir de todo ese tipo de preguntas para no exponerse, para no tal. O sea, Xavi está en las ruedas de prensa pasando por encimita y las empezó en su día en el Mundial de Clubes con muchas ganas, ¿no? De contar cuál es su proyecto, de tal. No creo que le echen ahora a Mauricio, ni de coña. Insisto, es la Supercopa. O sea, la Supercopa es lo que va a medir todo. En la Supercopa, si se hace un papelón, le echan. Pero vamos, en fin, o sea, absolutamente. Pero yo creo que no le han echado todavía, porque si le echas, te vas ahora de vacaciones de Navidad, luego llegan en enero, ven la cara del que está, Solari, Arbeloa, y dicen, bueno, ok, venga, y van a la Supercopa y te revienta un Barça o un Atleti, que ya nos ha reventado este año, el Atleti es que manda huevos, y claro, y entonces allá ¿a quién le echa la culpa? Y no quieren quemar a Arbeloa, correcto, lo está diciendo aquí es la LAR de 3000, no quieren quemar Arbeloa y que lo queme Simeone, que está bien aquí. A ver, ¿qué dice aquí este? Tú, el Haaland, a ver. Miguel, estás haciendo todos los méritos para entrar en Real Madrid Televisión, vaya tela. Luego nos quejamos de los culés de que viven en un mundo paralelo. Escribes mal porque está claro que das un nivel que, madre mía. Dices, sois tal para cual, macho. Bueno, pues considera que estoy haciendo méritos para entrar a un Real Madrid Televisión que ya no sé cuántas veces les he criticado a Real Madrid Televisión. Yo creo que si me escuchan mi canal, pues no me contratarán ni ganas que tengo ni falta que hace, ¿eh? Pero bueno, no sé a qué te refieres con lo de entrar en el tema de estar en el mismo universo, en un universo paralelo al de los culés. Pero bueno. Si nos pilla el Barça nos mete 8, no sé si 8, pero si nos pilla hoy en día, si nos pilla el Barça, el Arsenal, nos pilla el Bayern Múnich, nos pilla cualquier equipo que está fuerte ahora mismo en Europa, nos golea. O sea, nos pega un repaso bastante importante. Sí, porque estamos realmente mal a nivel juego, a nivel posicionamiento de los futbolistas, a nivel distancia de las líneas, a nivel tirar el fuera de juego, a nivel intensidad, a nivel duelos individuales, a nivel todo, estamos realmente mal. ¿Es remontable esto? Pues yo qué sé, yo espero que sí, pero tienen que poner mucho los jugadores de su parte, muchísimo. Bueno, muchachos, estoy en Viga, en el otro lado. Voy a empezar el directo ahí en Viga, pues espera, que os voy a poner aquí os voy a compartir el link y enseguida pasamos allá. Ahí tenéis. Copiad y pegad, porfa, o los que ya tengáis Big Up, entráis y ya sabéis, buscarme ahí en la plataforma. Y nada, os digo lo siguiente, mañana, que no será este mismo link, luego os lo comparto en vídeos de YouTube o ahora cuando tengamos el directo de Big Up, estaremos reaccionando al partido entre el Villarreal y el Barcelona, ¿vale? Os lo vuelvo a poner aquí en el chat, todo lo que estoy poniendo en el chat es el link, es un único link, pero lo estoy poniendo varias veces. Para que copiéis y peguéis y nos vemos ahora mismo en esa plataforma en Viga donde podemos ver resumen del partido, las jugadas polémicas, un montón de cosas, seguimos con entrevistas que estén haciendo en Real Madrid Televisión y, hombre, claro, Picachón eres Quique Valdebebas, claro, en Viga, vale, pues mira, ya lo sé y ahora te saludo cuando entréis todos allí. Espero que seáis muchos, chicos, somos ahora mismo 1200 aquí, que por lo menos, coño, un 10% se venga para allá, ¿no? Y pido poco ya, pido poco. Estaría bien un 20%. Venga, y que seamos por lo menos ahí unos 200. Enseguida nos vemos ahí.